In Cameroon, they call it Ngambe person. The one who does the incantation. They sit in a small tattered place, put the red banner on their head,
Yes.
and they are throwing bottles. They have carved things around, and when you bring this person to them for treatment, they are the doctors. They are well respected in the community, and people believe that this is witchcraft. And the Western people came and, oh, this is all cultism. This is wrong. This is witchcraft. This is the devil. Doctor, I'm so interested to know, are you a Western Gambe man? Are you a Western witch doctor?
Well, this is what goes on, though.
Amazing grace, how sweet.
Every journey begins with a dream, a challenge, a moment of courage. At AfriSalter Digital, we tell the real stories of resilience, success, and impact. We celebrate the triumphs, embrace the struggles, and inspire the future. Every voice matters. Join the movement, subscribe, like, comment, and be part of our community. Visit afrisalter.org and follow us, because your story deserves to be heard. This is AfriSalter. We aspire to inspire.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
When I finished the 4-year scholarship, I was to go back, and we have a program that we call National Youth Corps Service. You go in after your first degree, you have to serve. It's a 1-year program.
Yeah.
And during that time, when you go back, especially if you study abroad, you can choose where you want to serve. But if you finish your degree in Nigeria, you cannot serve where you finish.
Oh.
You have to move from the state where you serve to different states. So when I finished my undergraduate here, I was supposed to go back home. So, and the idea is, when you finish, you report to the Department of Education to say you are done, you have a ticket to go back. I call, I send letter. My uncle went to the Department of Education and said they couldn't find my file. So he called me back. He said, guess what? If you come back, now that they can't find your file, you're just going to be roaming around. Nobody will post you to anywhere.
Wow.
So you better stay and finish all the schooling you want to do.
Wow.
And the purpose for that sometimes is, when people didn't finish that and you want to own or apply for a job, they will ask you for a certificate of completion, because it's a necessary service for the country. It's a 1-year volunteer of service. They give you stipend though, and they place you in a home, but then they put you somewhere. You may do medical school, they may send you to go and teach. And so that was what happened.
Oh, is it what they call NYS today?
Yes.
Okay.
They still call it now National Service Corps, NYSC.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
How do you know about that?
I studied with Nigerians, Dr. Oni. I'm from Cameroon.
Oh, that's right.
What's going on here?
Okay, I was wondering when you said National NYC. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, so I decided to do the area that I specialize in, which is also mental health.
Yeah.
And I know in Nigeria, when you talk about mental illness, it's a taboo. And I remember when I was growing up, when we see them on the street throwing stone, we kids will throw harder than them. When we see people with mental illness, sometimes we follow them and clap. When they are throwing stone, it's like a form of entertainer for us. They are entertained by throwing the stone, I would say. And sometimes we throw bigger stones too.
And it hurts them. And it hurts them. When you throw stones at them, it hurts them. Right?
Of course. But they throw it at us too.
They throw it at you too.
Yeah, but
what's the name you call these people in Nigeria?
Well, in Nigeria, there's so many names for them.
Chris Man. In Cameroon,
Chris Man is in the English language. But Were. Each tribe has a name for the illness, to describe the illness.
Yeah.
So for us, we have different names. The Yoruba, I'm from the Yoruba.
Okay.
So for us, we have different names. So each type of mental illness is associated with certain diagnosis. Like America, we call it diagnosis. Say, for example, Were. that will remain crazy person.
Mm-hmm.
But there are many types of craziness. Like here now we have depression, we have schizophrenia, we have this. The same thing with people back home. So will remains the general name. Then will also means a mental illness person that doesn't wear clothes, just go around naked.
Yeah.
There's a name for that. We have some that when they throw stone at you, it's another type of mental illness. So each of them is very descriptive of their behavior. We use the name to describe the behavior they display.
Yeah.
You know.
What does that mean to families who have family members with that kind of condition in Cameroon? In Nigeria.
In Nigeria or even in any Africa country. When one person is sick in the family, the entire family is sick. So when you have a person with mental illness, it's that the entire family is crushed. And it's caused because we have no reason to think somebody will be depressed and have a depression or hallucination or schizophrenia. And so the families that are affected, they don't even like to be associated with other people. They are ashamed. It's a stigma. And it's also related to the cultural interpretation that somebody did it.
Yeah.
African woman would not agree that their son fell from a ladder without somebody's voodoo eye that made him to fall. They don't believe that you can miss your steps.
Yeah.
As you are climbing that ladder, you can miss a step and fall. They will affiliate it with somebody else.
Yeah.
So the same thing with mental illness. Mental illness is not always seen as something that is natural. There is a causation for it. And that causation is individuals that don't like you in the family or friends or things like that. And so we have herbalists that can help also. But their treatment is pretty much, sometimes can be very effective, maybe sometimes it's not.
And they just use herbs.
Yeah.
Grass,
they
trees.
Use herbs. They use different herbs. They use different spiritual incantations. They can tell somebody to go and wash their head in the river, and that madness or craziness is washed away. That is their own interpretation.
Does it work?
Sometimes people claim that is one of the things. This may not be in the journal, but it works for them. It's an evidence base. It's a patient base. Not that is their own evidence.
Yeah.
So it's called practice based. It happened and they believe in it. So it's a belief system. And sometimes those herbalists too, what they do that I like is that when they give you something to either to drink, a herb to drink or whatever that solution, they will taste it first. How many times did you see a psychiatrist taking the same medication to tell
they're
you
giving the patient or the client?
But over there, they let you know that this is safe. They are projecting the safety of that treatment. That is why they will taste it first. They will say, and then give it to you. So, if you don't do that, sometimes people will say, I don't know what is in it. Especially people who are crazy, that are always suspicious.
Yeah.
They will just, no.
So, doctor, this is interesting because you are an expert. You are a specialist in mental health. And I just want to dig a little bit deeper into this whole thing. In Africa, back in Africa, I know now some African countries have developed, we have mental health practitioners and all that. But in the villages, in those days, the diagnosis of mental health was what we saw in the street. We only saw in the street and know that, okay, this is a mad person. We saw in the street and said, okay, he walks naked. And that was all we had for diagnosis. But then when the family is taking this person to a herbalist or to somebody who is going to use spiritual powers, do these people have any way that
there are ways to describe it? Because over here, now we do what we call diagnosis. Meaning, what are the things happening? So the family member, especially the younger ones, the family member will take a person with mental illness, especially the youth. When they take them to the herbalist, they will describe to the herbalist that this guy or woman, whoever that may be, is yelling constantly at home. Is throwing things, is arguing. So when they describe that to the herbalist, they are listening to you. They are not writing anything down. But then they listen, they know how to correlate that to this, to that. And so they themselves, they are like doctors, they practice. They are not sure. Medical doctor here too, that's why they call them practicing. They practice this tablet or this medication. If it doesn't work, they try another one. So when they are listening to these people telling them the story, that is when they come up with conclusion of treatment modality. To say this is what it means. And then sometimes, back home too, people use cannabis, marijuana. And so a mother may come to a herbalist and say, my son is calling himself the president of this country. Something is wrong. He's calling himself that he's the president, he's the mayor. So when they start saying those things, the herbalists will listen to them. That is when they said, people may say, oh, these people are very schizophrenic. When you are saying something that is grandiose, you are calling yourself whom you are not.
And they don't use those terms. They don't use schizophrenic.
But it's not that we know what that is. That time they will not use it, but they will just tell you.
But they know they can diagnose this.
They can, from your description. You see, they know that. And in Nigeria, I can't remember the year now, they have what we call amalgamation of traditional healers and Western healers. So that we give respect to those healers. And so because of that, they enter referral to people. They respect healers back home in Nigeria. So they amalgamate them together. Because they believe that we use nature to cure nature. So when people use those herbs and soak them and squeeze them, it's like the same thing like the pharmacist will do, and pharmaceutical company. So that is why we give them regard.
And then the incantations that they will do, some of them use incantation.
They use incantation because they talk to the spirits of this person. They will say, the spirit is what is talking to you, and they are treating you from that. That when things happen to somebody, they believe, it's a belief system that it has to do with the spiritual God, and they are calling on that God to have mercy on the person, and they believe in it, and it will work. And so that is why, even in Nigeria, there is a first psychiatrist of the Western African countries is Dr. Lambo. Dr. Lambo was the first African to be WHO, World Health Organization Director in Nigeria. So he came and established, he brought people from elite schools in UK, in US, to set up a community psychiatric in Nigeria called, it's in Lagos, somewhere around that area. And he visited the villagers, the village chiefs, and said, we are setting this up because Dr. Lambo believed that people get better in the community than when they're in an institution. So Arrow Hospital today in Nigeria is the places where we send people with mental illness, mostly. And the community, he travel around and campaign to the village chiefs to accept them and it has a place for them where their family member will live when they come for treatment.
Wow.
Yeah, and it said when you live in the community, you get better.
Doctor, is the reason I'm really interested in this, going deep with you in this, is because something happened, with the world, and we live in a society where there is a claim that there is only one way of knowing. Yeah, there is the claim that you only know the book because it's the Western way of knowing.
Yes.
It's only true, it's only proven to work because you can prove this by a Western way that you know about it.
Well, sometimes I hear this a lot, but this is not true. It's not always true. There are some mental illness that is not in the book. And that is one of the area, or that from mental illness that is common to some specific culture. And no matter where you go, it's only that culture that has it. And that is another area that people are forgetting, that not all those things are in the book. And whatever is not in the book doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So that is why when they say this is, what do you call it again, they may say, oh, this is the best practice. Or this is, it's in the journal.
Yeah.
And that is why we believe in it. And that is what is become evidence. Whose evidence are we talking about? My own evidence? I'm the client. I know what worked for me.
Yeah.
And what worked for me may not be in this book. And that is why we need to understand that.
Yeah.
That we cannot use one heart to fit it all.
Your practice particularly touches on a very core thing in African values or African culture. In Cameroon, they call it Ngambe person, the one who does the incantation. They sit in a small tattered place, put the red banner on their head,
Yes.
and they are throwing bottles. They have carved things around, and when you bring this person to them for treatment, they are the doctors. They are well respected in the community, and people believe that this is witchcraft. And the Western people came and, oh, this is all cultism. This is wrong. This is witchcraft. This is the devil. Doctor, I'm so interested to know, are you a Western Gambe man? Are you a Western witch doctor?
Well, this is what goes on.
Now, in this next video, Dr. Oni talks about the traditional herbalist who treats mental health back in Africa versus the mental health practitioner as we know it in the United States. You don't want to miss it. Just hear it from the doctor himself. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, like, share this video, and leave us a comment. That's the only way YouTube promotes our videos.
Amazing grace, how sweet.
Every journey begins with a dream, a challenge, a moment of courage. At AfriSalter Digital, we tell the real stories of resilience, success, and impact. We celebrate the triumphs, embrace the struggles, and inspire the future. Every voice matters. Join the movement, subscribe, like, comment, and be part of our community. Visit afrisalter.org and follow us because your story deserves to be heard. This is AfriSalter. We aspire to inspire.
Amazing grace.